In the immortal words of Ricky Bobby's dad, if you ain't first, you're last, baby, and we are first. The Bengals are tied for first with the hated Pittsburgh Steelers. We're back. You're saying back? What took you so long? Well, we recorded half an episode. We'll get into that later. The internet went out. Thank you, Spectrum. But we're back. We're just going to film it all over again. What the hell, right? So we're going to talk today about offensive second half struggles. We're going to talk about Shamar Stewart. We're going to talk about something that sticks in my craw. Snap counts every year, especially week one. Oh, the W's a W. We'll talk about that. We're going to go around the league. A lot to talk about after week one. Some injuries today that came out. We are recording on a Friday afternoon. We actually plan to get this thing up and running. And, of course, our gambling picks. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Where we're at college, pro, Thursday night special, dated, belated, but we made our picks, so you can trust us on that one. We're going to talk about Sunday, the home opener. We are uber amped about that. All coming next on the Bang the Drum podcast. Boom! How's it going, Stevie boy?
Going good, buddy. Been a long week. Glad it's now Friday and not Thursday when we did this yesterday. Ready to get another good episode. Got plenty to cover. We'll touch last week. We got Jacksonville Sunday, 1 p.m.
Duval.
Let's go. Who Day, baby.
Who Day. It's going to be fun. Really excited about it. You know, the more, like, I was excited. We had a good show. We had a good 25-minute clip and just all went to, we could have started again and, you know, all that. But why not just start all over? So I'm actually a little calmer today than I was yesterday.
That's good.
Which could be good, could be bad. I don't know how that worked. We'll find out. Namaste. So we got some feedback to drop the F-bombs.
Yes.
F-bombs. F-bombs are gone for a while. If they lose Sunday, F-bombs are back. But for now, F-bombs are gone.
I'd already cut them out for the most part. I may have said some other few choice words, but...
Yeah, you did all right. I guess.
Now, you, on the other hand, you struggle.
I struggle because it's kind of been my outlet to throw the F-bombs. Unlike you, I don't throw them out casually, like during the week or anything. I just don't. I'll say them
out every 5 minutes.
You do, yeah. Like on the show, so it was kind of my outlet, you know, and I thought, you know, I was doing it for me. As a guy I know that's...
Imagine that, doing something for yourself.
There's a wrestling promoter friend of mine, and he would always say, he tells one of his wrestlers, like, you're only telling these jokes to get yourself laugh for your own benefit. And the guy's like, yeah. He's actually really funny. So you got to, you know, you're entertaining yourself a little bit with it. So I'm going to calm it down. I feel really calm, you know, despite all the chaos this week. Really calm. But plus there's a little more time between today, Friday, and the game on Sunday. So during the game Sunday, we had, 5 or 6 people out here watching it. We're back at BTD Studios, Bang the Drum Studios. So we were all out here watching it. Nice day, just like it is today. Wasn't a fun watch. Not at all. Nope. You get the W, you take it, but they really should have lost the game. So they snatched the victory out of the jaws of defeat. But if you look at it from the Browns' perspective, they got snatched a loss from the jaws of victory for sure. Easy for me to say. So they really outplayed them, which is kind of sad. But you know, I thought about it more, and I talked to a few people. It looked very similar to the New England game. I mean, it really was no different. Of all the, you know, we're going to come out, we're going to be different. You know, then everybody said the defense played well too. So there's your cautionary flag on both sides of it, the good and the bad.
Yep.
You think about, we didn't talk about this the other day, but that New England game last year, they just didn't get the breaks where the ball bounced up. They got a couple interceptions, right? They played equally as bad. It was equally as ugly, but it was at Cincinnati. So this is a divisional win. Take it how you want. Offense, you know, I'm going to talk about their drives in the second half. Like, oh my gosh, and you know, Burrow, you know, he's certainly not to blame. It's the whole offense, but the yardage count. I mean, the Browns won basically every statistical category you'd want to win other than turnovers, which ultimately was the game, and kicking, right? So first downs, 22-11. Unbelievable. Net passing yards, 278 to 95. Total yards, 327 to 141. time of possession 35-24 against the Browns. And, could we have believed that a little bit? I think so. I could have talked myself into that by saying the Browns had some success running the ball and the Bengals went up and down the field so quickly, but neither of those things are true, right? It was just a dumbfounding game across the board. Let me find this real quick. We're off kilter here from what we were doing. The snap counts, full play-by-play. But in the second half, what was the total net yards for the Bengals was less than 20 yards.
Yeah.
Punt. And they had a field goal, and that was off a turnover. So, offensively, I don't think you can take anything positive out of here. Sorry. So, 3 plays. So, we're in third quarter. 3 plays for 8 yards, punt. 7 plays, 17 yards for a field goal. That was their best drive. I was thinking 3 plays, 1 yard. 3 plays, negative 18 yards. 3 plays, 4 yards. 3 plays, negative 10 yards. Jeez, oh, Pete, that's expansion level offense, right? And you're going to hear it across the board. And there are a lot of people right now, and this is, prisoner of the moment we talk about the Browns defense. Well, they drafted very well. I do like the linebacker. They drafted very well. This defense is going to be great. Oh, that's a tough defense. We'll see on Sunday. Because all that comes back around. But do you have anything to take away positively from the offense? I don't. I thought it was just an ugly day. But I do think it's going to be an exception, not the rule. Your thoughts?
Yeah, nothing very positive at all. I thought Chase Brown looked good early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think 43 yards in the first half. He ended with 43 yards.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I think he averaged 2.4 yards a carry for the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm trying to think if he caught a ball or two. I know he was targeted a couple times. I think they went into that game with a certain mindset, no matter what, thinking that they had to play a certain game against Cleveland, and they stuck to it. They didn't do anything spectacular. A lot of 12 and 13 personnel, like it was. They didn't want to stretch the field. Everything was 10, 15 yards. Everything had to be on outside the hashes, and they couldn't throw outside the hashes. It wasn't there. They was giving them inside, and they wasn't taking it. Gesicki, I think, had 17, 18 snaps.
Whoa, don't ruin my thing here. Come on, snap counts.
Either
knew
way.
what we were doing. All right,
He just, I don't know, the way Zach and Pitch did the game plan, it wasn't what we thought we would see offensively.
No.
We'll get into defense here in a minute, but no, nothing spectacular, and not. But like you said, I see him stepping up this week and playing a lot better.
Yeah,
especially Joe.
Chase Brown had 2 catches, but yeah, it was nothing creative. My criticism of Zach Taylor throughout his tenure with the Bengals remains, and that game's the proof and point of it. Like you gotta do some stuff to get guys open. You gotta adjust. You got to do some things differently. I'm going to get some guys open. I'm going to do some things. They never do it. It's vanilla as vanilla can be. Who does that fall on? That's another thing that's a problem. You got to have direct a line of responsibility. Ultimately, it's him, but the play calling, the personnel, which we're going to get to. We'll talk about defensive personnel, snap counts in a little bit. So, offensive plays for the Browns, they had 76. The Bengals had 52. That's tough to win. Tough to win. You look down. So this offseason when they signed Fant. And even talking about last year, we talked about it on this show. Like, the problem when they did it, for 6-7 games last year, go heavy with Eric All or whoever else. And basically the offense wasn't as good. So then things go wrong and they flip it, have Gesicki essentially a slot receiver, spread things open, they set records offensively. What in the, almost said it, are you doing?
Yeah.
So they went back, we got Noah now, so we're going to go heavy. This is unbelievable to me. Stupid as it can be. Drew Sample, 36 of the 52 snaps. Noah Fant, 26. Gesicki had 16. There's no way that's just incredibly inept, and that's Zach Taylor. He gets stuck up in something, and that's the problem not being a head coach and being a glorified offensive coordinator, right? It's hard to keep all that stuff in. I know they got people tracking it, but if you're the head coach, you're pay attention to all that, both sides of the ball. He's lost in the shuffle. Just a bad strategy. And hopefully they turn it around. I mean, we said the same thing. I think they will, but I thought they would last year after the New England game, right? We booked it. And they obviously didn't do it. And very similar, Flacco's probably better than Brissett. I mean, he is, I guess. He is better than Brissett. But Brissett, maybe plays with his legs.
That was what killed him, was his legs.
Yeah, and then
it's hard to believe, but yeah.
The defense, there are some positives there. So on offense, one final point. I watched the All-22. They're putting everybody and their brother in the box. The Browns are. Throw it on us. Throw it on us. Please, we dare you to throw it on us. They wouldn't do it. They couldn't do it. It's unbelievable, right? It's just hard to understand. You got to hope it's just an aberration, but with Zach, you never know. He may not figure things out. They may change their whole blocking scheme by week 4. That's what they do. They're just never ready. Never ready. They weren't ready again. No matter what they said, all off season, they were not ready week 1. Period.
Yeah.
No adjustments, nothing. On defense, however, against the run, they played really well. I'm still not a believer yet. I got to see it against a good team. And that team's not good. It'll prove out. I'll be right on that one. Everybody else can throw their roses at the Browns right now. You'll see here in about 4 weeks where they're at. They're not going to be a good team. And I think Junkins will help them. That's going to be their best running back. He wasn't there, right? So the defense was fortunate enough. You got 2 lucky interceptions. You still got to make the play. But it wasn't good coverage on either situation. I mean, he did push off, I thought, on the one. But I thought Shamar Stewart played really, really well. And that's the upside. And I thought Trey Mason plays in B.J. Hill, linebackers, secondary. You want to blame Al Golden? I don't know. Was he telling him to get the inside? But the Flacco, you want him off kilter, right? And he's just looking back, and the guys are just running simple slants. Anybody can make those. High school quarterbacks can make those throws. They were just giving it to him most of the game, right? Hence the time of possession. Part of it was the Bengals offense. Part of it was that defensive strategy. So they just got lucky across the board, in my opinion. But the rookies played well. What are your thoughts on them and the defense as a whole?
Yeah, the rookies played well. Nine played. I think he had 11 tackles, 7 or 8 solo. Shamar played really well. He's strong. He's fast. He's physical. Just tossing guys to the ground, and he was out of character. Probably in character, but out of the scheme a few times. You could tell where he crashed too hard, and his gap responsibility or his edge responsibility where he wasn't sealing the edge correctly. But that was just him being aggressive. That's rookie stuff that hopefully Al will fix. But I thought the rookies, for what they had to do to go on the road, game 1. Not really knowing what to expect because, again, they didn't show nothing in the preseason. So you're basically only doing that, at practice. And then it does kind of make you think, though, when we heard all the buzz about the defense against the offense and in camp, right? So was it more the defense or was it more the offense struggled in camp? You know what I mean? They had good days. It was probably, from what I hear, it was split, right? The defense won just as many as the offense. You know what I mean? So, but it makes you wonder. It's okay, I don't think the defense is going to be very good this year. I think they're still going to be below average. I think they'll make some plays. I think they'll be opportunistic. I think they'll get some turnovers. They'll do some things. Maybe actually force a handful of punts here and there. But you just hope that. It was almost last year when they went to the more of the spread. They put Gesicki in the slot and all that. It was out of necessity because they lost, all. So now it's they don't have to do that. So will they make the necessary changes? Is it going to be a game-to-game game plan? Is this how they just want to do Cleveland? Like I said a minute ago, or are they going to come out this week and do something totally different because they got the personnel can do it? They gave Gesicki $8 million a year. Yeah. Are you going to do that and give him 16 snaps? That doesn't make any sense. So maybe it was just a week 1 thing. They wanted to get the win, go up there, get out of there while they could, and we'll see how it goes. But it kind of makes you wonder about the whole camp thing. Right. With the defense winning as much as they did, is it actually because the defense is that good? Or maybe the offense was doing some things basically like what Cleveland just done, and even the Bengals defense held them down.
Yeah, it's every season is so different, right? You can rely on a few teams to be the same, but That's how the NFL's always been. That's not something new. We talk about how we like the old game better, which I do. But every year, like you'd see a championship team might win 7, 8 games the next year. You don't see that as much now. They'll talk parity all they want, but as we talked about before, the parity's kind of a misnomer. You'll get a few teams that'll sneak in that weren't there, like Washington last year, whoever. But I think the Bengals are so talented on the, you just got to be a little more creative on offense as a coordinator, right? Not just the play calling, but the design. Their design is so bland. I mean, it's so soft in what they do. You got to be creative and do some things like Johnson did with Detroit when he was there. He's trying to do with Caleb, who wants to dance around. We'll talk about that later. So, yeah, we'll see. I think it was just I don't know. I don't really know what to think about that game. Maybe it's just a throwaway. I'd burn the tape if I were them. Just forget about that one. Yeah. Go out and ceremoniously dig a hole and put it in there and burn it and move on, because that was an indictment. Speaking of indictments, the front office.
Did you get indicted?
Oh yeah, I need to. They brought up a bunch of defensive guys this week, signed in the practice squad. Brought up the Pinnell guy who hasn't played. And so you could say, wow, that's an indictment on the previous front office. They are the previous front office. So, man, it's amazing to me. And Cincinnati's like no other. And the same way with the Reds, to a large degree, who are still hanging in it, by the way. But, year after year, you just make one pick after another. And then you say, well, he's not good. We're cutting him, or whatever we're going to do. But you're the guy doing it all. Like, I'll stand on this. Like, I think if they would have hired a real GM, Duke's not, and a real head coach, and I don't think Zach is, I think they might have multiple championships right now. Somebody with some pedigree. Who knows, maybe. Right? And maybe it'll – I think I picked them to go to the Super Bowl and win it. And the reason is it's not because of Zach Taylor or Duke Tobin. I just think Joe Chase and T and Trey are that good, right? But the rest of those middle round picks and stuff, golly, they've been awful. But Pinnell, he played well. Was he 33, 34 years old? But I don't know what they're doing there. But it's – we both never really thought the defensive tackles are that bad anyway, right? But they do. And a lot of the media does, but they played okay Sunday, didn't they? I mean, B.J. Hill was,
Oh, he played well.
And Slayton played well too, right? When he was in there,
played real well.
He didn't have enough snaps, so
I mean, you got to have depth. I mean, you got to have some kind of rotation.
Yeah.
And I think B.J.'s better when you got him at like a 60-40 split, right?
Yeah, and you got him with the big guy beside him, which he has. Yeah. And Jenkins, I think he can play well, but you just got to get him on the field.
Yeah, when B.J. and Ogunjobi was together, that was a hell of a 1-2. And then Ogunjobi and Reeder. I mean, that was yeah. I mean, that was a nice little 1-2, no matter how you went about it, either on third down or first down.
Yep, absolutely. So I think the what's the word I'm looking for? I was trying to be creative, but the good news I'm a dumbass. I was going to say a golden something or other, playing off of Al Golden. But the good news is that team was so bland, the Browns, and I think they came into it. We're going to stop the run, and we don't believe they can beat us any other way. And they're probably right. If the offensive play, they're probably right. So I think, when they get into more traditional team like we'll see this weekend with Jackson, who didn't do much offensively, honestly, against Carolina. They dominated the game, but that was an ugly game even though they dominated it. So I think when there's more traditional dropbacks, and that sort of thing, I think they're going to attack him. I think Golden will be more himself, more blitz packages, more attacking the line, hiding defense. He didn't do that Sunday hardly at all. He was very bland. And I think it's, people can brag on Flacco all they want. I just don't think he thought he had to do it, right? So why take the chances? And, it worked. It kind of worked. And, points on the board, it worked. So you agree, I think we'll see a different, especially in bigger games, I think we'll see a different Al Golden.
Yeah, I do. I don't know how much, but I do think there'll be a difference. Then again, I don't know if he'll do this just like maybe what Zach and them are thinking offensively. I mean, maybe we'll see something kind of different every week. I'm not really sure how they'll live on defense. I mean, because really what he did, and again, just because he did it in college, don't mean he's going to do it in the pros, because he played a lot of man in college and blitzed a lot. Now, if you can live and die like that in the pros, I mean, more power to you, but it's hard to do. So we'll see. I think they'll be different. We'll have to wait and see exactly how much.
In the first half, they looked like last year's defense in terms of tackling and stuff. That got better in the second half. And they were flying around. Like we talked about, Logan played pretty well until he got, I guess he wasn't concussed because he came back in. But he played. I was impressed by him. So I thought that was a good sign in the rookies as well. Well, the rookie. No, I didn't think Carter played very well. He missed a lot of tackles. So we're going to put a bow on week 1 for the NFL here in a second. But first, let's talk about what beer we're drinking. Home fry.
So we are drinking Amber Dos Equis.
Dos Equis. The most intelligent, yes.
I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 Who Days. So not bad. Got some flavor to it. And, of course, I'm still covering it up with my Bang the Drum koozie.
Get your Bang the Drum koozie Sunday.
So, yep, 3 out of 5. What you got for it, brother?
I give about 3.5 out of 5. I like it. It's the Amber Dos Equis X. Was he the most interesting man in the world in those commercials? Those were great. Those were great. So good brew. So let's put a bow on week 1 and talk about the rest of the league real quick, and then we'll talk about what's going on in week 2 in NFL, and then we'll get to our picks. So in the division, Pittsburgh kind of got lucky. That's where we ended last time. But lucky's probably not the right word. I think the positive, like we talked about, week 1, who knows what's going to happen, right? That may even be the case of the Bengals, right? That probably is. But the Pittsburgh defense looked really bad. And if Fields would have took off on that play through to Garrett Wilson, he got popped. If he takes off and runs right then, he's got a first down, and who knows where that game ends. But the positive side for them is Rodgers played pretty well. So, I don't know. Baltimore blew a game, but, man, that early part of that game, they looked like one of the best teams in the league. The irony is, and we're going to talk about that real quick, like, you look at Hurts and Jackson in particular, and you can throw Josh Allen in that, and people do. But Josh Allen's 6'5", 240, and has got an Elway-type arm. Can throw it anywhere at any point, and will throw it anywhere at any point, traditionally. He doesn't have to run around and kill time to throw to guys wide open. He can drop back like a Burrow or a true quarterback and throw an NFL quality out. Those two guys I just mentioned can't. They can say what they want. People get mad. Oh, look at the stats. Look at the stats all you want. Watch the game, though. A true drop back and throw an NFL throw, neither one of those guys can do it. Jackson Hurts. So essentially in the NFL right now, it's kind of hard to watch. For me it is. You've got a fullback or running back playing quarterback, and you're not allowed hitting him. So think about that. And they're both dynamic runners, especially Jackson. But Hurts is a good runner, too, and he's more physical. So it was the Eagles game the other night. Quarterback drops back, quarterback left, quarterback right, quarterback. It's high school football. Why don't you just play the bleeping wishbone, right? I almost went there. It's boring as boring can be. And you'll say, well, stop it. Well, if they were allowed to play defense, they would stop it.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't happen, right? And same way we talked about it here, like now they're calling it, what they call it, the tush push. It was called the bush push with Notre Dame and USC. That's rugby. And they've done it, and somehow people say, well, make it illegal. It was forever. And then all of a sudden it's not, right? It's dangerous. You saw it in the game we watched, the Bengals. So a guy gets held up and stopped, and then two linemen come in and push him an extra 30 yards. It's a good way to get players hurt.
Yeah.
And it's really rugby, right? So parts of the NFL are just mind-blowing sometimes. So, but, Detroit, you got Detroit and Chicago this week. As we transition to week 2, this is not our bet pick, but some games that stand out to me. Outside the Bengals, you got Ben Johnson against his former team. One of them's going to go 0-2. I think it's going to be the Bears. But the thing with Caleb Williams, and he just can't drop the same guy. He can throw it better than the two guys we just mentioned by far. But he can't do the elementary things. So if it's a curl route, those feet are hopping. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
He's never just sits down, controls his body, and follows through and throws the ball. Those feet are just everywhere. That's why his ball's all over the place, right? So a routine curl, the receivers are all over the place. Now when he's running, unbelievable. I don't know if you saw us moving that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, it's kind of tricky. Baltimore, Cleveland. I mean, what do you think about that game? Do you feel the same way I do about it? Without talking spreads, just for Sunday's game, I think Baltimore's going to beat the hell out of them. What do you think?
Yeah, I usually get a feel for these games on just 30, 40 years of watching the NFL, and especially here the last 20 years on just how games go. That's why week 1's always so weird, because you can't get a feel for it. Usually after week 1, you can just about bet Cleveland should have won the game. And then everyone's going to be talking about how this, how that, how they may give Baltimore. And Baltimore blew it, but no. Baltimore's going to absolutely thrash them. They're going to absolutely
I think so too.
thrash them.
I hope not. I hope not. But
I hope not.
We'll see Baltimore lose. So you got. Let's go to the other divisional game here. We're just going to give snapshots of the NFL each week going in, and then we'll talk about it Sunday live from Hilltop 10 a.m. ish. We'll be there before then, but 10 a.m. stop by, say hello. We'll be by the practice bubble. Bengals practice bubble Sunday. YouTube live. If you want to stop by, say hello, please do. We'll have koozies, shirts. I'll try to remember to bring some shirts, but then we'll do our bets, right? But so Seahawks at Pittsburgh, Metcalf versus old team. Seattle blew a game that they probably should have won against San Francisco. But forget the bets. I think Pittsburgh wins that game, don't you? Now they're 2-0. So that makes a big game here. So everybody in the division will be tight. Then you got, Patriots who lost the game going to the Dolphins, Giants, Cowboys. But the interesting game, they're really promoting it. Eagles and Chiefs. Looks like Chiefs are, if the Eagles beat them.
It's big.
And I kind of think they will. Maybe not. But Kansas City did not look good. So you think about, Philly. Both teams are going to be motivated. That's a big game. I know the Bengals have proved to be opposite of that, but traditionally when you go 0-2, you think back, I think I got this right, I may not. 93, I think it was, Cowboys, Emmitt Smith held up. People say, well, Emmitt's not Barry, Emmitt's not this. I hated the Cowboys, probably still do. But the bottom line is when they didn't have him, they weren't good. Because he was so good at setting up blocks. They were 0-2, looked awful.
He had a really good offensive line.
They were, but they didn't block that way for other guys, right? So he came in, he just knew how to set up blocks. He ran with patience. So they went 0-2 and won it all. But you go 0-2 traditionally, historically, that is a rare feat, right? So
it is.
Then we got 2 Monday night games, Chargers and Raiders. Both 1-0, surprisingly. Raiders.
Actually, really, I think should be a fun game.
Real good game. And then, be at Vegas. You got Buccaneers. Buccaneers at Texans as well. The early
That'll probably be a pretty good game, too.
Should be, yeah. Houston, they gave, I'm sure Denver fans are probably saying similar things that we're saying. They were a playoff team last year. That was a hard game to watch.
Yeah.
So Survivor League, you took the Bengals, right?
I did.
Barely got through. I took Denver. I mean, in the spread, they pulled away a little bit, but that was not they looked awful. Mm-hmm. And surprisingly, when they're playing that game, Tennessee's defense was killing them.
Yeah.
Their defensive line was dominating. I can't imagine that good. And that's something like, if you read a box score as opposed to watching a game. Watching that Tennessee game, Ward's numbers were not good. But some of the throws he was making and a couple of drops, that dude's got a can, man.
Yeah.
He threw a couple, where he lowered his arm level. And I just don't think the receivers are used to him now because a couple of those should have been common. They're bullets. They're coming down the seam routes. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
He might, you never know. He might end up being one. So they got the Rams this week. Callahan and Rams didn't look good either. So there wasn't really many quarterbacks that, other than the ones that just run around, that really played that well, right? The Lions looked awful. 2 new coordinators. The Jets, Ed Oliver's out. I don't know if you knew that for Sunday. So that's a big game for them against the Bills. Your team, your pick for the Super Bowl, Kittle's out.
Yeah.
Purdy, who knows how long. Mac Jones is starting.
2 to 5 weeks, I think.
Some are saying they thought he could play Sunday, but that's not the case. So Mac Jones is back. He's back. Mac is back. Never believed in that guy. I thought he was a horrible pick. And so we'll see what Shanahan can do with him. So that's kind of it. So we weren't, typically speaking, on this edition, our typical Thursday night, moved to Friday, we don't talk about our NFL gambling odds, our bets, right? Last week, the previous week. But considering how down in the dumps you are, how bad you suck at picking games, historically bad, atrocious.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. I got to lift you up a little bit. So first, we'll talk about the college. So on the season, Stevie boy, you are 2 wins, 8 losses, and 1 tie. How can you say it wasn't that bad?
It's not that bad.
That is atrocious. You're bankrupt, dude.
I'm waiting to make the push toward the end of the year, and that's what it's all about. I start slow, but I'll come into it. I'll change my game plan after a while, and then it'll catch fire, and then I'll be unstoppable.
Unstoppable. You better be. So we made our pick last night.
We did.
We both took Green Bay minus a 3. I know it's so we're both 2-0 on Thursday night specials. So that's good. That's good. Thursday night specials. But NFL wise, you Stevie boy, you did all right for a change. 3-1. That's
for a change. No, it's like
You're
that all
horrible.
the time. I'm not.
Like Justin said, the back of your baseball card says loser. It didn't even put your stats. You know, it has a stats year by year. It just says loser. You're horrible at it.
No, I'm great.
Maybe you're not this year. I'm 2-2. I went 2-2. You take it.
You're the loser.
Overall, I forgot to give my college record in. I am 6-4-1. That's called banking. 2-0 Thursday night. So here we go. So let's dive into it. We're going to do our college picks real quick, and then we're going to preview the Jacksonville game a little bit. Okay? All right? You ready? You got picks?
Yeah, I got them.
All right. Let me know what you got, homeboy. We're going to do 5 this week.
All right.
Let's look them up to make sure they're the same. Let's bet on them.
Yeah, because I did do mine yesterday before yesterday's show.
Let's look at them a little bit. I'll pull them up. Things change, as we know. Pull them up on whatever app you got, and I got mine up. Yeah, my bet's changed. I'm gonna. That stinks. Dang, gone. I might stick with it though, I guess. All right, what do you got, big boy?
I've got Georgia 4.5 at Tennessee.
It's 4.5 now. That was one of my picks too, so that changed. The Dogs, I got it at 4, so that's called 4.
Okay. Also took NC State at the time was 7.5. Do you see that one?
So nice little feature here on Caesars. I can pull it up by conference. Wouldn't help you because you don't know what conference you're in, but I do. I'll quick on that. When is that game?
I think it was like 3 or 4 o'clock.
That was last night when you can't pick on that one.
Oh.
Yep. You got so much for that one.
All right. I've got Houston 3.5 over Colorado.
See, that changed too. All the games I wanted changed. Let's see what we got on here. It's actually 5. Or Houston's 5 now in Colorado. So you just said Houston, Colorado. It's 5.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4. So I'll delete these out here and go back and record them. I'll just use these as what I got. So yeah, that's a big point. Same way with Dogs. Like I had them at 3.5 in Vols, but now it's 4. Okay, go ahead.
Also got Clemson 3.5 over Tech on the road.
Picking a lot of the same. We have not talked, so I don't know what that means. I got it 3 right now, which is what I was going to bet on. So we'll go 3.
And then also got Ole Miss over Arkansas 7.5.
Let me see what that one is now. Man, these change quick, don't they? I got 6.5. What did you have?
7.5.
Okay, well, even better for you, right? Ole Miss. So, all right. So I'll do my bets here real quick, and we'll jot these down. I'll get them later. Arizona, Kansas is what I was going with. Should have looked at these earlier. So it's 1.5. I got Arizona plus 1.5, which it stays the same. Same with you, Houston and Buffalo. Same with you, Clemson, Georgia Tech. Same as you, Georgia and the Vols. I tell you what, this might bite me, but if I was going to bet big money, which you know me, I probably will. I'd take the Dogs there. I just don't believe in that quarterback at Tennessee. You just never know with Georgia because sometimes they'll get a little conservative, but I like that game a lot. And then I got Minnesota and Cal. But let me see what that game went to because they're moving like crazy. Minnesota and Cal. I like the Gophers. It's 2.5. Minnesota, so that's the same. So a couple of them stayed the same. So I like Minnesota going there. PJ Fleck. He's goofy. Row the boat over the Cal Bears. Ohio State right now is 29. This is not official bet, but I think I'd take Ohio State over that. I think I would. I think they'll pull away big on that one. So that's our bets for this week in college. We'll see how we do. We'll jot this down, check down the record, and get going. So, all right. That's preview Duval. Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars, Stevie boy. What do you think about Jacksonville coming this year? New coach. That's tricky because you never know what he's going to do. One game you got a little bit of film on him, but it's totally different, right? So,
other than he's a damn goofball,
he's weird.
He's super weird. Probably a pretty good coach, I guess. I mean,
I don't know.
He had him kind of ready last week. I mean, Carolina ain't gonna be very good.
No, that's what.
They was the worst defense against the run last year, and guess what?
Yep.
It was really bad Sunday. So I like Trevor. If you can take him off his spot and make that throw, and a lot of times it's almost like he makes that predetermined. I'm going to throw it here if the coverage is even close to what I'm thinking, just like he did last week. I mean, the guy made a hell of an interception. It was like one-handed shit, crap, but it was a really, really good play. But I mean, as far as a running game, I think they're going to have a pretty decent running game. But again, I think if the Bengals can do anything like what they done, hell, hold them to 80, 90 yards, right? I mean, just don't let them run up and down your throat. Have big explosives, off the running game to where it opens up everything up for Trevor. I mean, defensively, I really don't think they're that good.
Yeah.
They got they got a couple of decent ends. The interior defensive line isn't that great. What's the linebackers? Allen.
Yeah, Josh. He changed his name, whatever it is. Josh Allen.
He's a player.
Hines Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was tough.
He's a player. But as far as I think they can exploit him. I don't know how much man will play. I hope they play a ton because I think the Bengals will eat their, what. So,
wax their ass.
So when it comes down to it, you got to step up and play the kind of game that this team should be playing. Spread them out. Put some pressure on them. Run it when you want to or when you can, and then let's get another W.
Yep. You look back at the Carolina game. So my opinion on Bryce Young has not changed. Everybody jumped on him last year, and I watched him play because we bet on him a lot. When they got hot because Vegas took a little bit to adjust. But really, even then, you just saw a guy rolling out, throwing to open guy. You just didn't see. I didn't see an NFL, top 15, top 20 quarterback. And I still don't. So he threw for 154 yards last week against Jacksonville and 2 interceptions. They sacked him once. To me, that's more him than them. They did a decent job against the run. Lawrence only threw. They had 143 yards rushing from Etienne. He busted one for 71, but he only threw for 178 despite all that. Right. It was just a cakewalk game.
Yeah.
In fairness to them, they didn't really have to extend themselves. Carolina's still really bad.
I think they had 3 turnovers, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they had 9 all last year.
Yeah. And
so you know what I mean?
I guess you never know, right? But Brian Thomas is the real deal. Travis Hunter, we'll see. He's playing mostly offense.
I think he had 1 catch, though, didn't he? Brian Thomas.
Yeah. He's tough. But
oh, yeah.
Etienne's he's been a good player for a while. Lawrence kind of a make or break season. We've seen him play in person. I don't know. He's athletic. It's a rematch of a national championship game, which we've seen play against each other. Urban Meyer was coach. Trevor Lawrence versus Joe Burrow. You're also seeing a rematch. J.J. McCarthy versus Penix. Sunday night, I think that game is. Should be a good one. McCarthy, that was impressive. We didn't mention him. He played really well. I picked the Bears in that one. That's one of the games I lost. But you got to give the kid. I don't dislike him just because he played up there because I thought, bet money on him, won me $1,000-some when he was drafted, and I said he was going to be a really good quarterback. I stand by it. So that'll be an interesting game. But Trevor, he's just not what I thought he was going to be coming out. I thought he had a shot at being more smooth and just on time type thrower. He's not. Holds the ball too long, quick to jump out of the pie. I just don't see a high level. Put pressure on him like you said. They've got, they picked that Trevon Walker, I thought, way too high. Davon Hamilton's there. Armstead's older. Josh Hines Allen, whatever you want to call him now. He's good, but just a lot of guys, I think. I don't see anything special about this team at all. But, home opener, I think the Bengals should pull away. But you never know, right? No. Jacksonville, new coach, I'd say he'll pull some tricks out of his bag, right? You never know what he's going to do. I don't know what that spread ended up at now? I'm going to look at it real quick. I meant to look at that. Sorry.
It was 3.5.
Yeah. We'll talk about it on Sunday. That Ravens game now is 11.5. The Bengals are 3.5 still. I think that's stealing money, honestly. I think the Bengals cover that. And if they don't, I think we got some issues. Even if they win, it's one of those games like last week. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
We were talking about just the crowd and what it's going to be like there, all orange. I got orange on now just to prepare. Wear your orange, but that's going to be a fun environment.
Please wear your damn orange shirts.
Wear it. Stevie Boy will get mad. We've talked about it time and time again. There are a lot of things that Steve won't get mad about, but that's not one of them, right? You got any other thoughts on what's happening Sunday? Talk about we're going to be there. You can do all that. We'll be there, what we're doing. Dig into that if you will, sir.
Yeah, we'll be there pretty early. As soon as we'd be there even earlier, but they won't let us in that early unless we accidentally sneak in. And we don't mean to do that.
That is weird how they do that. Yeah. Some parking lots open, some don't.
Yeah, but we'll get there as soon as they absolutely will let us do that. So we'll get in there. We'll get set up. We got a nice little setup prepared. You will be able to see us. probably be able to hear us. We'll be having some music playing. We'll have the TV on behind us. It should be a good time. We will have some koozies. Scott says he'll try to bring a handful of T-shirts. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good to get back to the stadium and root on our orange and black, because I bleed orange and black anyway. So
Yep.
this is what I wait all summer for, and I can't wait.
You think about it, like we talked about it before. I don't think we actually did talk about it on the air because we did, but it got like it just seems like the season doesn't really start until you see them at home, right? Or you're at that game, like feels like it's been forever, right?
Yeah.
Since a home game, and it has been.
That's been.
So long time. So that crowd is going to be bonkers. If you're going Sunday, it is bonkers, and if you're not going, something I forgot, we're off kilter here. That whole internet outage got us, right? So if you're not going Sunday, you will listen to Chris Lewis and Logan Ryan call a game. I have no opinion. I don't think I've heard either one. I know Logan Ryan's an old player.
Yeah, it was.
But doesn't mean he's going to be held with broadcaster. In fact, he usually doesn't. But that's what you'll be doing. Some good games, though, if you're going to be at home. Tune in, listen to us live on YouTube. We've got some friends of the show that are going to be there early. They've messaged. They'll come over to us. So we'll have cigars, beer, of course, koozies, shirts, enthusiasm. We'll have it all. Looking forward to it. Anything else you want to add, Stevie boy?
Did you mention beers?
Beers. Yeah, we'll have beer.
Okay. Just want to make sure you
Stevie
mention
downs them. And I'm in a quandary. Let's
Well-
talk about my quandary.
Roll.
Blue Day Jeep. Complete with Bengals stripes.
I don't think it's a quandary.
What do you mean?
I think you should have got it yesterday when he's down there. That way you didn't have to make another trip.
Man, it is sweet. You agree?
Oh yeah, it's next level. Yeah.
It's next level. Next level price, too. Hit the old pocketbook hard. I need to start winning better on these bets. I want to
Yeah.
pull off something like that. I
If
need
you
to
start betting like me, which it looks like you already started to,
That is scary.
then you're going to be good.
What I
Good to
should have
go.
done is took a quick time out when I saw what you were picking, because our picks were similar, and just rearranged and went somewhere else.
So
Took other games.
do you want to know exactly why I come up with the picks I got? Because college is so messed up on some of these spreads. Like I'm not taking teams that are 27.5, 28, 35 point spread. I'm just not taking those spreads.
You take them, you just take the underdog. See?
I went to the games that I thought that.
Oh, you did last week. You're done with that?
Oh no, I'm done with that one. Yeah, that did not work out very good. It was just one.
Let's talk about it.
Let's not talk about that one.
No, I want to.
Nah.
It's different when you just make a pick.
Hello?
You're so cocky about it.
Hello?
Oklahoma State's going to be a good team this
I
year.
can't.
They got their quarterback back. 28 points. What was it, like 69-3 or something like that? I mean, golly. And some of the, like,
It's a bad call.
as we dog the media, some of them, Oregon's the best team in the nation at that. That's just calm down, right?
It was a bad call.
It was bad. It was one of the worst ones I've ever seen, probably. It's up there. All-time worst picks.
You want to know what's even worse?
Picking Miami in a Survivor League.
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah, that too. I bet on them twice.
Did you accidentally?
No. I
On
bet,
purpose? Oh.
I bet on them again when they were down. I thought they'll come back and cover. I felt strongly about that
You
game.
did, man. You got to get
I felt it was in my gut. I guess that's why my gut's as big as it is, because it's about to explode, because it's full of show.
I think you fell for the mullet. The mullet and the I'm a man, Mike Gundy. This is going to be his last year. You better enjoy it while you can. He going to be gone.
They're not my team.
He gone.
I just,
The Pokes, he gone. Yeah, so quandary on the Jeep, quandary on Steve's picks. A lot of tough decisions. I don't know. I may get it, but I don't like the hard top. I got the push button one on the Jeep I have now, so we'll see. Tough one. But if I get it, that's another thing I told
it's
them.
not that tough.
If I get it, then we'd almost have to take it to
You're
the game.
talking to the
and you-
guy who has a slingshot that
You
I
did.
completely have done out in Bengals.
It's pretty cool, too.
I did not buy it like that. I took all the decals off, did all the decals myself, did the rims myself, everything. I did it because that's what I want it to look like. I looked for an orange and black one just so I could do that.
Yeah.
So
We'll share on this pot. We can do that.
sure.
You got a picture of that. I got a picture of the Jeep. We'll share them both in this segment so you can see what we're talking about. The slingshot and the Jeep.
I can do that.
Yeah, so we'll do that. That kind of cool, but then if they lose and you're driving around all off season, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hell, even that week.
yeah.
Like I struggle wearing Bengals apparel if they lose and they play bad. Like I'm like, do I even want to wear this hat? I'm
I got you.
embarrassed.
It is.
It's a damn football game, and I'm like, wanting to crawl up in a freaking corner in the field
Yeah.
position and get sprayed with a water hose.
Yeah, I get it. The weird thing I was thinking about this, like, and this changed along the way, and it changed for me too. Unfortunately, I've caught myself though. Like, you think about when your team lost. Like, I think back, one of the toughest losses for me, I don't know why, it was Ohio State losing at Wisconsin in 2003, right? And the reason I think is I love that 0-2 team. And they had a lot of drama. Claret brought all that drama. If he didn't bring that drama and would just shut his mouth up and played, I like him now. Liked him then and played, who knows what would happen, right? But they went up there and it was rain, got one really bad call. I wasn't mad though. Now everybody's just angry, right? Like, I was hurt. That's a better feeling. I mean, it's not a good feeling, but so then you're just hurt when your team loses, and then you're hurt and you're overly excited when they win. I know people that just go for fun. I know more people that just go for fun than go like we do.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not getting the stress out of it, so I'll give them that. But they're also not getting the joy of the win. They get joy, but not like we
For about an hour, then they're done.
I mean,
we listen to the radio all the way home.
Yeah.
I'm listening. The time I get home and lay in bed, I'm watching on my phone. I'm trying to watch all the podcasts to hear all the walkouts and her. I mean, that's what I do. And I'm sure my wife, well, she hates me, but I'm sure she hates me even worse because of that. So.
And many other reasons, but that's a whole different episode.
Yeah.
That's a different podcast. We'll get to that some other time. Just kidding. But it's
I am just kidding. I think she likes me.
She does sometimes. There's at least a low percentage of the time she likes you, right?
Yeah, I mean, she keeps me around.
Yeah.
It ain't for my money, I guarantee you that.
Not for your intellect either. Definitely not for your looks. What is it then? I digress. Sorry, I shouldn't have. But it's like, we call that passion, right?
Exactly.
And some people would say it'd be to have more common sense to not that be in it. They might be right at the end of the day.
But I don't care.
No, I wouldn't spend every week watching if I didn't have some sort of passion about it, right? I feel that way about Ohio State. That's why I can casually or not watch any other NFL games. And I'll just go back and watch the all 22 or watch the no commercials, get through them. In college, the same way, right? Draft picks, I'll go back and watch them. But I don't feel that need to be watching it live. The Bengals I do, and the Buckeyes I do, right? So you got to watch that because that eats up a lot of weekend, right? So one last note, and before I turn it over to Stevie, this weekend, Saturday night, it's starting to get some pub. In terms of, you'll get the loudmouth like Logan Paul. That's our society right now, like McAfee's on it. But Logan Paul in boxing, right? He does something stupid like the Tyson. People will watch it. They don't know what they're talking about if you're watching that nonsense. And you're not watching Canelo versus Crawford. This is the best fight that's been put together in a long time. Outside the heavyweight especially. That was some big fights. Terrence Bud Crawford is a likable dude out of Omaha. One of my favorite boxers. Canelo is one of my all-time favorites, right? So I have a hard time having a rooting interest. Unfortunately, it's going to be late the night before the game. I'm probably going to stay and watch it anyway. It's on Netflix, free. We'll see if they
I've seen that.
This is a big fight. These two guys are historically all-time good, right? Crawford's undefeated. Canelo took a fight with Floyd when he was really young, shouldn't have. It was one of his losses, and he jumped up a couple weight classes and lost. That's it. Canelo is such a patient, oh my gosh, he's good. But Bud Crawford he switches stances, right? A lot of guys do that to mix it up. He does it naturally and can punch hard either way. They used to get on him when he was a little kid, and he goes, I can do it both ways. He's like 8 or 9 years old, and he's fighting orthodox and southpaw. This dude is an all-timer. So watch it. If you're into boxing, I think I would take Canelo with the spread. It's a tough one with the odds, with the money line, but if you want to take a chance on some small money and bet, Terrence could beat him, right? It might go the distance, but unfortunately it's in Vegas, so it's going to be late. But that's an all-time fight. I digress. Take us home, Stevie. We are excited. Sunday. Welcome to the jungle. Take us home, big boy.
We'll see you next time. This coming Sunday, 10-ish. All slow traffic. Stay to the right.
We out.
Peace out.